Yeah, this is another video that I've been thinking about making for a while. It's about, because I hear men, I've heard men say this. When it comes to, like, dealing with women, as far as like relationships stuff go. But they say women don't accept accountability. Women have a hard time being held accountable or having self-accountability when it comes to dealing with people in that romantic type of way. But let's get into this video, right? Women and accountability. I will say this. I'm going to talk about this, like I said, from a both-sided type of thing. I'm not going to try to fault men or women. I'm trying to just bring some equal-sided perspective about it. This is what I do think, right? Like I said, you have man, you have woman. Women, naturally, to me, right? Okay. The woman is like the nurturer, right? The woman is the more emotional out of the two, right? The woman is the more delicate one, the pretty one, the more tender one. That's what it is, right? You got man, you got woman. Now, and I think all this stuff is natural. You may hear somebody say, hey man, pick that up for that woman. Open up that door for that woman, right? You need to protect these women and children. So naturally, I think the woman is supposed to be, protected for, provided for. She's going to be the one to probably get more pampered out of the man and the woman. Not saying the woman don't look out for a man, but naturally speaking, I think it's more natural for her to be like taken care of. And I think that since that's the case, if a woman not careful, cause you gotta make sure that you're not unintentionally abusing that. Cause some men might say, oh, it's just set up for things to go easy. I think it's deeper than it's set up. I think it's deeper than a societal thing. I think, like I said, naturally, she's the more delicate, the more emotional, soft, gentle, the one who needs to be protected for, provided for. Before jobs and all that existed, if somebody had to go hunt and chop a tree, it's going to be the man, right? So naturally, she is the one who's, probably needs to be, like men always say, man, we simple, man. I take care of this, bro. I got your back, boom. Just, be there for me, take care, nurture, take care of my kids, be a soft spot for me to land on. I'm good. You all, that's how I go, right? So, but look, women, I'm not trying to, I do think naturally, if you're not careful, you can unintentionally avoid self-accountability sometime, or don't allow yourself to be held accountable because you're so used to being like the one pampered and taken care of and, handled with care and get her door and pick that up. Naturally, that's how it is. So you do need to be careful. You need to make sure that you are holding yourself accountable and being in a space where you can be held accountable when needed. I'm not telling you that you're just supposed to take any old lick, any old charge, just because, somebody else might have their own insecurities or problems or situations or something like that, right? I ain't saying you just got to go on just taking blame for the world's problems, right? But you do need to make sure, because if it's naturally, designed for you to be the one to be cared for, tender and all that kind of stuff, right? You need to make sure that you don't unintentionally abuse that, and before you know it, you don't have self-accountability, or before you know it, nobody can hold you accountable without you feeling offended or being defensive or feel like they're doing you something wrong, because, you're naturally supposed to be the one that get, pampered, so to speak. Now, on the flip side of that, though, fellas, what I think a man can fall victim to, for those same things I said, is pride, especially when it comes to his manhood. Being like the protector, being the provider, being the one who gonna pick this up, hold the door, this and that, thus and so. Sometimes, your pride can take it. Nobody can't tell you nothing when it comes to things like that, because you automatically might start feeling like somebody trying to challenge your manhood, right? Especially when it comes to finances. right? You might feel a certain way if you're not making enough. You might feel a way if your girl make more than you. I ain't saying everybody, but I'm just saying, man, you need to make sure of that too. Sometimes a woman might just want to voice her opinion about something, right? I ain't saying that you should disrespect her or she's supposed to disrespect you, right? But if it's sometimes if it's an issue about finances, if it's an issue about something, an issue about that, if a woman just, have a stern, a solid opinion about it that she don't want to budge on, you automatically might take it like it's a shot at your manhood. So you can't tell these women. It's like, dang, can she have an opinion? I mean, hey, look, I'm not saying that this is how men roll. I'm saying, naturally speaking, since you are the protector, you are the provider, you're supposed to be the leader, right? You need to make sure that you are in a position to where you are approachable. That your manhood pride don't get in the way to the point where anything that's related to finances, anything that's related to leadership, anything related to a woman having an opinion, don't start making you feel like, oh, see, she trying to challenge my manhood. See, that's the problem with these women today. You can't tell them. It's like, you got to make sure you governing yourself and finding that balance so you can be approachable. So you don't be oversensitive about feeling like whether somebody trying to challenge you as a man or not. A man can look at a woman and say accountability issues, probably because naturally it's not kind of like there for him to fall victim to that more often than a woman. Can a man have accountability issues? Yes. Naturally, could a woman be more susceptible to it, in my opinion? Probably. Just like with the pride thing, right? A woman might need to be more aware of the accountability issue that men complain about from a natural point of view to make sure she don't unintentionally abuse it. And when it comes to the manhood, pride of manhood and stuff like that, men can be more naturally susceptible to falling victim to that, of course, when it comes to protecting, providing, stuff like that. So he needs to be more aware so he don't unintentionally get oversensitive about that or abuse that, right? Because even if he's not oversensitive, he might just rule with an iron fist and think, hey, I'm a man, that's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? You gotta both bottom line, both of them can see the issue the other one can have in this area, but they don't hold up a mirror and say, okay, could I be, more responsible in this certain area? That's the thing, right? It's just that we're man and woman. We're supposed to be together. That's how things go. But there's usually a reciprocal, I like to say. If you're complaining about a man, what's the reciprocal complaint about a woman? It's not going to be the exact same thing because you're dealing with a man and a woman. You can find a reciprocal in some way, shape, or form. But like I said, you got to be willing to hold up that mirror and not only look outward. Not saying that the outward looking is not necessary, you know what I'm saying? But you got to balance it off, right? Because it's easy to complain about other people, but are you going to really look at yourself too?